At the very edge of Willow Creek Forest, as though guarding the secrets within, stood an ancient oak. Its gnarled branches, twisted by time and weather, reached out like skeletal fingers. Sunlight struggled to penetrate the dense canopy, casting long, dancing shadows on the forest floor. Nestled high amongst the oak's boughs was a treehouse. Forgotten and forlorn, it had stood there for as long as anyone could remember. The treehouse was a crude structure. Its wooden planks were weathered and gray, many rotten with age. The windows, mere squares cut into the wood, were empty sockets staring out blindly. A rickety ladder, missing several rungs, clung precariously to the trunk, the only visible means of access. No one dared to venture near the treehouse anymore. The children of the nearby village, once drawn to its mystery, now gave it a wide berth. The stories whispered around it, passed down through generations, had painted it as a place of unease, a haunt of shadows and whispers. Face it head-on. The ladder creaked ominously under her weight, threatening to break with every step. The wood was damp and slick, and she had to grip the rungs tightly to avoid losing her balance. The climb seemed to take an eternity, the silence around her broken only by her ragged breathing and the pounding of her own heart. As she ascended, the air grew heavy, thick with the scent of damp wood and something else, something ancient and unsettling. The forest floor was now far below, the undergrowth obscured by a thick blanket of fallen leaves. Emma felt a sense of isolation, as though she were entering a different world, a place untouched by time. Reaching the platform, she paused, catching her breath. The silence was unnerving. It was a heavy, expectant silence, as if the forest itself were holding its breath, waiting to see what she would do next. Hesitantly, Emma stepped onto the platform. It creaked ominously under her weight, but held. She was here. Section 4. Shadows and Whispers. Unsettling Discoveries. The interior of the treehouse was dim, lit only by the fading light filtering through the dusty windows. The air was thick with the scent of old wood and neglect, a place long forgotten by time. Cobwebs hung from every corner and a thick layer of dust covered every surface. It was as if the room had been frozen in time, untouched for years, maybe even decades. The air was thick with the smell of decay and something faintly sweet, like overripe fruit. It was a scent that seemed to cling to the walls, a reminder of life that once was. Emma shone her flashlight around, her heart pounding in her chest. Each creak of the floorboards beneath her feet echoed through the silence, amplifying her sense of unease. In one corner she spotted a child-sized table and chairs, the paint peeling and faded. The sight was both nostalgic and eerie, a ghostly reminder of the children who once played here. Scattered on the table were a few old toys, a wooden doll missing an eye, its painted smile now a haunting grimace. A tin soldier bent and twisted, a chipped teacup. Each item seemed to tell a story of its own, tales of joy and sorrow now lost to time. The sight sent a shiver down her spine. It was as though the room itself was whispering secrets, secrets that were better left forgotten. It was as though the children who had played here had simply vanished, leaving their toys behind. The emptiness of the room was palpable, a void that seemed to swallow all light and hope. On the wall, someone had drawn a picture in charcoal. The lines were rough and hurried, as if the artist had been in a rush or perhaps in a state of distress. It depicted a large oak tree, its branches reaching out like grasping claws. The tree seemed almost alive, its twisted limbs stretching out as if to ensnare anyone who dared to come close. Beneath the tree stood a figure, its back turned, as though beckoning the viewer closer. The figure's posture was unsettling, a silent invitation that sent chills down Emma's spine. Emma stared at the drawing, a sense of unease creeping over her. She couldn't shake the feeling that the figure in the drawing was watching her, even though its back was turned. There was something about the figure's posture, the way it stood just within the shadows, that made her skin crawl. It was as if the drawing was alive, a silent guardian of the secrets hidden within the treehouse. Emma took a step back, her breath quickening. She knew she had to leave, but something compelled her to stay, to uncover the mysteries that lay hidden in the shadows. coat rack.